you know how much you love practice. Another kind of strange week where you had a few days off. How beneficial is this coming off the Cleveland win, especially after having all those practices last week?
Yeah, no, it's great for us to be able to, I think for some of our injured guys, to be able to have that time to come back and go through their rehab plans, be in our facility to do it, get some practice time in, get some on-court individual work in, just tighten up everything that we do. It's been a great couple days for us. Love that we had an intense practice yesterday, today a little bit lighter, and then you get ready for Atlanta tomorrow.
You guys are 3-2 now in clutch times and starting the season 0-5. What do you see in terms of the biggest difference in those clutch time games down the stretch right now?
Biggest thing I would say is just our overall competitiveness and physicality I think has been elevated. Some of that's the group on the floor taking a little bit more accountability of what it means to finish a defensive possession, to guard people, and then also offensively, what does execution look like? How physical do I need to screen? We are down, so we should be hitting the offensive glass, and we just have to elevate everything we do and ratchet it up to a higher level, and I think the group has done that. We've watched enough film on it. We've been able to talk through situations, so I think they understand from a physical and a mental standpoint of what's being asked from them in the game.
Just curious, as a coach, do you enjoy sort of pulling out the really close games that come down to one possession where you've got to kind of maybe sweat it out a little bit, but you come out on the other side, or kind of a 20, 30-point blowout?
First of all, I'll take any win. Any way you can get it. The 20 to 30-point wins means that you were probably pretty locked in a lot of different areas, offensively or defensively. And then the close ones just show the grittiness that you need, the physicality, the extra level of competitiveness. So I love them all. I think that our group is really focused on a day-to-day process, though, of just how do we get better. And, you lose some of those clutch games. You're pissed about it, but how do I get better? What can I learn from that opportunity? And I think that they are definitely learning and then now taking it to the court and putting it into action.
You mentioned having some days off in terms of no games, practices obviously. The injury guys like Trey, Melo, how do they come to practice and how do they get those guys kind of moving forward?
Yeah, so I'd say Melo has probably done the most of the group so far as we've returned back to practice yesterday, being a little bit more intense, more contact. He was able to participate in that. And then today, a lighter practice. Trey was able to participate in that. Melo was able to participate in that. Colin was able to do some of that too. So I think Melo probably being a little bit further along than those other two guys, but it's great to have them in bits and pieces of practice.
Seeing Grant out here, and you've been obviously watching his progress. I mean, how excited are you to be closing in, perhaps? I know you're not a doctor and you can't put a timeline on it, but
yeah, I didn't stay at a Marriott last night. At the thing, the courtyard or something.
Holiday Inn Express.
Holiday Inn, that's what it is. Wrong commercial.
But
thank you.
But still, I mean, having him back, closing in on being back for you, that's got to also give maybe a bit of a mental boost for some of the guys too.
Yeah. It's been great to have Grant throughout his whole rehab process. He's been around the team. It's been intentional on our part to have him around because of how much value he adds, and then it's also intentional on his part to be around. He wants to be around his teammates. I think it fuels him. As you're going through an injury, sometimes you can feel like you're siloed in your own little area of your rehab, and now you still feel connected to the group, and they kind of fuel him and his spirit. And it's good to just see the progress that he's making. Obviously, not going to rush him into anything. We want to make sure he's in the best physical shape that he can be to rejoin the group at the right time. But it's great to see him be able to hop in and do certain things with the team.
You mentioned guys being pissed about losses and that sort of thing. How are you guys fighting the frustration from creeping in and letting it snowball? And is it just guys just putting their heads down and going to work? I mean, what are you seeing?
Yeah, what I see is a group that's just obsessed with daily improvement, and I think that we're also just focused on controlling what we can control. And you can't control the injuries, you can't control officials or how things end at the other end of the game. You can't control shots if they go in, but you can control your effort, your competitiveness, your preparation every day, your communication. So those are the things that I think our group is locked in on, and it's helping us, I think, just keep that everyday approach in place.
A couple days removed from the win in Cleveland, what kind of a lift can a win like that, in the manner that you guys got it done, what can that do for this group going forward? Is that more of a, if we do this, these are the results that we get?
I think it's a huge boost for our team, for any team really, but when you can go on the road and beat a team that has a couple all-stars on their team, current and past. You're on the road, you're undermanned, and to pull out a close overtime victory where like you thought you could win it in regulation, and now you got to get your mind back together and move on to overtime, and then hold a team to a shutout in overtime. The first time it's been done since like 2015. It's impressive, and so I definitely think that our group can build off of that, and we will use that positive momentum going into Thursday.
A lot is made about this time off, but the trade-off is there's a more condensed schedule somewhere down the road. As a coach, is there one that you care about one way or the other, or is it just taking it one day in front of you?
One day in front of us, but that condensed schedule that you talk about is coming up next month. So it's good that we got a little bit of rest here, some more days to practice. As a young group, it's great to be able to come in and tighten up what we do and teach a little bit more, and maybe be able to watch a little bit more film, knowing that you don't have a game that day or the next day. You don't feel crunched for time. So I think that we've really made the most of these last couple days and been just focused on our process of getting better every day. So when the adversity comes of the schedule in January, we will be better prepared for it.